Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Aaliyah and this is my sister Alexis.
Hi.
So today we're going to be doing two things. We're going to be doing our makeup while we talk about Bojack Horseman, the show, in entirety. So we're going to be talking about Diane. I feel like Diane is a great character. Like, she has a lot of potential, but I feel like she ends up getting on the wrong track.
Yeah.
And I can understand from like her point of view, because when you love someone as much as she does with like Bojack, it's hard to let go of them when they do terrible things.
I think it's also important to like note that like I think she's also done, because I think she tries to excuse people a lot because she feels like she can see the potential in them.
Yeah.
And like I feel like it's normal to do that because everyone does that like at some point, you know what I'm saying? But I think it's also good to recognize that like there's always like some type of point where you need to stop supporting them, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And after the whole Penny situation, she like, you know, made sure that like he kind of was like went through something for it, like he
suffered from it.
Yeah, basically. But
in what way do you mean like he suffered from it?
Didn't she incorporate it into the show to like kind of like make him feel like he's going crazy?
Yeah.
And so make him feel bad.
Which was like, good that he went through that, but I feel like he didn't go through that much.
Yeah, and she continued to be his friend.
See, that's I don't understand. Like, she's what? Like, oh, you know, like, Bojack, I'm gonna make you pay. And then she's like, okay, Bojack,
I'm still gonna be there for you. And
yeah,
it's like,
I'm your
what?
friend again, like.
Like if you know how much of a bad person he is, then like keep up with it, you know what I'm saying? But I understand it's hard to like let go of people that you love, especially when you have like a toxic relationship with them. So I don't completely blame her, because even at the end she still like that last episode where she like fully like cut him off, was like, yeah, I'm not talking to you again, you know?
Thank goodness that she did, because to keep someone like that around is insane.
And even though like the whole Sarah Lynn situation, when she found about what happened, she was like no, Bojack, I'm not doing this with you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
She was like, this is not a we situation, this is a you. And I'm glad that she finally was able to like really move on with her life, like with Guy and stuff. And like I love the corporation of like, oh my god, I look so late. Because I have to put this anywhere. But I love the incorporation of like Guy. That's not what I was gonna say, but I love how they put like they made her like fat like that. And I love that because it's like people in society they treat like fat as like a bad word, and if like they try to use characters to portray it as like a character getting worse, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Like Bojack in his younger
years, because even she was worried. She was just like, oh my gosh, like what if you don't love me, Guy, when I become, you know, like fat, gain weight and stuff like that. And he's just like, I love that he was gonna be there for her like no matter what. And that's like true love. Like you don't care how a person is gonna look, you know, it's all about on the inside.
Look so white. Oh my. As like a bad representation of how much like they've grown negatively, but this was a positive change in character, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. About
her moving on with her life and her being happy with herself. And I just appreciate like that, you know, detail, whatever. And then when they changed it in the intro, you know, I was so happy about that, because I was like, damn, they really keep up.
I feel like that's important. That's one thing I really like. It's good when they like change the intro and stuff like that, and it's like it's updated with the characters, because like when I see the same intro all the time, it's like, okay, like I'm getting tired of this. Seeing it for 10 seasons, it's like, all right. Yeah,
I love how it really progresses with like how the season's going to be. I keep looking up and I'm like, oh my god.
Oh yeah, you looking ghostly right now.
I never said I knew how to do makeup, so anyways.
I don't think anyone ever said that.
Don't try to play with me.
I'm just kidding.
But it's alright. I promise.
You threaten me all the time. Sister, no, there's proof that she threatened me on my TikTok. She said, I know where you live.
No, I didn't. That is a statement. Mean, huh? We live together. Like,
that's a statement.
We're dating Mr. Peanut Butter? I will never understand that. Like, what was that?
I didn't understand the whole relationship at all. One, I'm not saying it's bad to be in a relationship with someone who's older than you. I just wouldn't like recommend it. I honestly think that just date around your age range, because it's just like you guys are most likely going to be on the same, you know, loop and everything. And guys who go after younger women, that's usually a red flag. And that's basically a red flag.
Levels and like if frontal lobe cortex or whatever is fully developed, then do whatever you want, whatever. But like, do not sit here and tell me you fully know that this is like, oh, you're the love of your life and this and this and that. This is ironic. No, not like you can't fall in love from like a young age, but more just like, don't like sit here and tell me that you can date someone like a far age range when your mind isn't fully developed. You're gonna say, oh yeah, I'm mature for my age, but like you can't say that until your mind is fully developed. You know, it's like at like maybe
25, right?
Yeah, 25 is
that's
like,
when the brain.
Yeah.
I mean,
I think it varies for like
just
different
makes
people,
sense.
but like
I think Mr. Peanut Butter was not great, obviously, in any of his marriages. Come on, 3? That's insane.
Yeah.
And then he was going for the 4th one, Pickles.
Oh
like,
my god.
After he knew
crazy.
he cheated on her, like, I feel like that's the worst thing.
Can we talk about Mr. Peanut Butter?
Yeah, let's talk about Mr. Peanut Butter.
Because
I do not like him. I liked him the first, like, time going around watching it, but now that you watch it again, it's like, well, this is not a nice guy.
Yeah, because the thing with Mr. Peanut Butter is, like, when you first see him, you see how Bojack treats him, you're like, why is Bojack... we all know that Bojack is a terrible person. Like, why is Bojack treating this such nice guy in, like, such a crappy way? And, like, again, like, I don't think that Bojack out of anyone should be treating anyone crappy or whatever, but, like, I kind of get it to a sense, because maybe not all the reasons, but, like, Better acts if he's, like, some big, amazing guy, whatever, when he really isn't. He's just like Bojack when you really think about it. Maybe not just like him, but, like, he's very similar to him. And it's, like, the only difference is that he has, like, a happy-go-lucky type of oblivious outlook, while Mr. Bojack... Bojack is, like, actually for real. Like, he's just more like, yeah,
yes, okay. Honestly, Mr. Peanut Butter is very fake. He's very fake. Episode where he's like, you think I don't notice you, Bojack, you know, being mean to me and ignoring me, and I know that you kissed my girlfriend, right? If you knew all this, why are you acting like you don't know? Like, you're just pretending to be stupid and ignorant. Yeah, he acts so oblivious,
and I don't really, like, respect... Why am I so late? I don't really, like, respect that. Like, again, like, I understand trying to keep things cordial, and, like, that's different. Don't try to sit here and play dumb with me. Like, we both know what's happening. Like, don't play those games. Like, you know?
And it's just weird. Because then he goes back to playing dumb again. Like, oh, Bojack, my best friend. Like,
how you would be like, I know you're a terrible person. Be like, actually... Besties.
And it's weird because it's just like you can't just pretend like you didn't say all that and that like we forgot. I did not forget, and it just makes it really, really just strange. It's like, who really are you? Who are you deep down?
I feel like Mr. Peanut Butter can almost see like himself in Bojack, and like that's probably why he's so nice to him, because he's like, oh my god, he's like me. But I'm a happy-go-lucky guy and I actually get things happen for me.
Not once did really Peanut Butter call out Bojack for things he's done. And I don't like that because he only called him out for when he did something bad to him. And it's like, wow, you are like Bojack because you're just selfish. You only care about what happens to you. You don't care about anything else. When it came to the relationship, you know, Mr. Peanut Butter and Diane, it was the same thing. Like,
I was just thinking,
why would you... you know, do a proposal and then be like, okay, camera comes out after she just said she doesn't like cameras. Like, why would you do that? It's all for you. His whole shebang is just, everything is just for him. He goes to parties and he leaves his girlfriend. That's for you. That's selfish.
Yeah. Not
once do you think, oh my gosh, my girl this, my girl that. What can I do for my girl?
Which is why, like, him and Bojack are so similar. They're both, like, the most inconsiderate people I've ever seen. Like, you know, like, they have no respect for anyone else's boundaries and personal time and things like that.
I'm not a Princess Carolyn fan anymore. I used to be, but then...
Because the second to last, she's over here like, okay, we'll figure it out. We'll figure out how to hide it, basically. We'll figure out the press and stuff like that. Like, Princess Carolyn, like, you should be like Diane and finally realize how much of a hobo this guy is. You know what I'm saying? Like, Jesus. And, like, it makes me so sad because even after everything, like, what Mousy, the reporter interviewer thing, said the truth and the truth only. Like, she was saying, like, oh, yeah, you were with this Princess Carolyn for a long time, right? Like, and then basically called Bojack out for manipulating Princess Carolyn. Looks bad, doesn't it?
What?
My foundation.
No, you just need to add some color.
I tried, it's not working.
I'm not adding color.
I am, I'm using this.
What, are you insane? This isn't a color. What are you talking about? You have to add contour to make everything else stand out.
But does this look good, like the base?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I was asking. Jesus, get a load of this guy. I just feel like she goes through like so much though. Like,
Princess Carolyn, yeah, but at the end of the day, when are you gonna stand up for yourself? There's so many times that she could have and she never did. And it's just like, you can feel bad and you can feel bad, you can want, but at the end of the day, you need to do it yourself. Like, if you don't stand up for yourself, what more can anybody else do for you?
Don't stop dancing.
Okay, next on the list is Sarah Lynn, and she is my favorite character, and I feel like I wouldn't say relate to her. Comfort character, even though that's kind of bad. It's just like you can see so much potential in her that has just been sort of like washed away by other people.
Yeah.
You know?
She deserves so much better.
And I know a lot of people are like, oh, you know, she's to blame for the things that happened to her too. I get that, but
what? Why?
a lot of people, like, not what happened to her, but like as in her death, you know, like being a drug addict and all. But these things push you there. Like, realistically, can you imagine what she went through with her stepfather, what she went through on you know, being 10, drinking alcohol because Bojack is stupid enough to leave some alcohol around, which he wasn't even supposed to bring alcohol onto the set. So it's like, there you go. And then having him say these weird dark things to her on set, like, just keep giving her all, don't stop until you're basically exhausted, and that's all like she ever did.
Don't stop.
Yeah, don't stop dancing. Don't stop dancing till the curtain calls. And then later on, it's like he's doing drugs and drinking with her. Like, it's not very helpful at all. It's like when she started making music, and after that, that's when her life really started to spiral downwards. So they just kept using her for money and all that stuff, and you know, until she fell off, as they say, or whatever. They were just like, okay, no more Sarah Lynn, and then they had 16 Aquafina. And she was just a product. She was just an object to the world. Yeah. And it's just really sad. So I honestly don't understand why nobody sympathizes with that, because it's just hard. How can you really succeed with that type of, you know? And you see the background
too, like her mother never cared about her.
Exactly. And not even Bojack wanted to be there for her, you know. He's the older guy,
and he decided to have sex with her because that's the right thing to do. First scene, like the Sarah Lynn says, like, "Oh my God, Andrew Garfield, meet Andrew Garfield, meet my TV dad," or whatever. And then, like, later on the episode, they literally have sex.
You're just older and you're wiser, and also you're supposed to, you know, you've known this person since they were a child. You would want them to do better in life. You want to, like, to push them to succeed, not be like, hey, take some heroin with me. What? Like, but it's all Sarah Lynn's fault.
Once I saw the Mouse interview, like, and they were like, oh yeah, he waited 17 minutes.
Yeah, he killed her. 17 minutes you're waiting?
That is murder. And it's just like, he didn't even go to jail for it. And it's like, damn, Sarah Lynn never really got her...
Never got justice.
She just got money. Her parents were paid. Her parents who literally abused her. Her mother neglected her, and then her stepfather literally abused her. So it's like... What? He cared more about getting caught rather than Sarah Lynn being safe.
Exactly. A whole life he could care less about. Same thing with, like, Herb Kazas. Could care less about Herb and
yeah, even
his
when he
life.
apologized, you can tell that he didn't care about actually apologizing to Herb. He cared more about getting his closure from that situation, knowing that Herb was gonna die. It's like, it's only when you know that Herb is gonna die is when you want to go apologize to him. Like, no. Maybe if you actually were a better friend beforehand, it's bad that he didn't really stand up for him and stuff like that. Yeah, I think that's bad, but like, you don't stand up for him, and then you literally don't call him for 20 years. You don't even go to check up on him.
Hello.
Like, okay.
And that was your best friend. Like, even if you drift apart a little bit because they were on that show but you knew this person and they literally started your career. Without Herb, Bojack would have nothing that he had, and he's just like, I'm greedy. I want this job more. Like, but he started that for you. So if there's no Herb, there'd be no horsing around. There'd be no Bojack Horseman. Like, he'd be a nobody. So it's like, they even said that they didn't want him.
Yeah, and the whole thing, like, oh, and I said, without no Bojack, then there's no show or whatever. And then they were like, no. And then I was like, please. And they're like, oh, okay.
Yeah, like, really? Bro, he vouched for you. You couldn't do the same back? He's so calligraphistically califragistically. I don't know the word.
Supercalifragilistic?
Yeah, that. Be for real. So let's talk about the episode The View from Halfway Down. There are like a lot of things that I noticed, and I'm not sure if other people noticed, which is, I mean, it's probably going to be obvious to you guys by now. But it's like, you know, some people didn't notice.
What was it?
Like, you know, their last meals being at the dinner.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I noticed the lemon, but I was very confused about everyone else's because I didn't think it was obvious. Like, I don't remember her eating peanuts before he was dead or something. Like, did they show that? Like,
maybe I'm wrong, honestly, with the peanuts, but I feel like it was either that it's either the last. Maybe I'm wrong actually.
no, I think you are right because the lemon guy I'm not
He
gonna
had, but that could have been his favorite thing actually.
Oh, so maybe they're
Wait, no,
friends?
because didn't Sarah Lynn, she ate like burgers and fries before she died
Yeah.
because they were going on like that huge bender. So I think that was their last meal. It's a little confusing because I can't remember
Well, maybe it
Herb's
was
death.
both.
No, we didn't get to see Herb's death, I don't think.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, because he just left.
He was like, oh.
He was like, get out. And then they're like, Herb died. So yeah, so it's just like, honestly, I love that episode. It gives me extreme anxiety, of course, but it's so well
Why is it
made.
anxiety?
Hello, it's about death. You really think I want to think about that? No. I like the Secretariat poem. I felt like that was very deep, especially with like, if I only knew the view from halfway down.
And I feel
he's
like a lot
like-
of people can like sympathize with that, or like not sympathize, empathize with that.
Well, yeah, because it's about suicide.
Oh, really? Oh, wait, no, I did know that. I don't know what songs.
Yeah, it's about Secretariat's suicide. And how I guess he didn't realize, like, you know, it's like a lot of people say that they end up regretting, you know, like the people who survived their suicide, they'll be like, oh my god, like I regret that.
Don't do anything bad.
Suicide is not the answer. And I like that they had the different like Sarah Lynn's. They had her as a kid, they had her as an adult, and like 18-year-old, and then when she was 30. And it's like seeing the different versions of her is like so refreshing because it's just it's like the progression. She was not always this person.
I think it's also to show like how Bojack was in her life for that entire time. You know, like how she was so prevalent in Bojack's life.
Yeah, because even when she was 18, he went to go see her, and he was just selfish. He's like, "Oh, I want you on this project." Like, bro, you don't even talk to her, and now you want her on a project. And she was all like, "I miss you," you know, like you're the person who was you know, looking out for me and stuff like that. Or
He murdered her.
he really, well, yeah, and then he murdered her. So it's like, yeesh. What I find important is like the ending, because when I first saw it around, you know, like an ending of a series, it's like, oh my god, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? Because this is the last freaking episode that you're gonna watch, you know. And then I was disappointed because not a lot happened, and honestly not exactly what I wanted for a lot of the characters, I guess you could say. Currently, I didn't want her to still be in touch with, you know, Bojack.
But,
To
like,
me,
she was
that's
able to be
crazy.
with, what's his face? Judah?
Yeah, but that was kind of like left field. Like, where did that come from, honestly? Like, yeah, of course, it's nice that she finally has someone who loves her, but I honestly didn't see Judah. That was very random.
I saw like the mouse guy.
The mouse guy. That made sense, but then Princess Carolyn ends up with Judah. That didn't make sense to me. And then
I
it's
don't know,
like
I
she's
still
still
haven't
in contact with Bojack. Like, are you insane? Especially after all this. Like, be real. And then Diane, she was only really upset at the end because she didn't know if he was alive, and that took a lot of power over her and stuff like that. I get that. I referred to him as her best friend, you know? Because, like, Guy would be like, oh, like, your best friend's on TV after the whole Sarah Lynn thing that she found out. And it's like...
But even then, she was
Really?
very much like, oh no, that isn't my best friend though. Like, I don't think I understood.
She didn't say that.
But she kind of like expressed that in a way, no? Very much like, I don't want to see him at all. But I kind of like the ending because it almost kind of gives, like, in my head, I don't know, maybe I'm just different, but like, I feel like it gives growth. Like, it gives room for growth. Even though the show ended, I feel like I can imagine people,
I see
like,
Diane
separating.
growing.
Yeah.
But that's it. I don't see anyone else growing.
I see Princess Carolyn growing. I think it'd take more time than Diane, but I do see it happening.
don't see Princess Carolyn growing because she obviously didn't learn anything. Diane decided, oh yeah, this is the last time you're ever going to talk to me, but Princess Carolyn didn't. Mr. Peanut Butter, he's just kind of underwhelming, honestly, as a character.
Yeah, no, honestly, his ending was just like, bro, really?
He's just like, whatever, you know, he does whatever he wants as usual.
More of a, you know what, I decided that I'm not gonna date women. I'm a date man. No kidding. Mr. Peanut Butter has more potential than Bojack.
I mean, that's obvious.
Yeah, 100%.
But I just think, I don't know, Mr. Peanut Butter is like, I could care really less what happens to him. There wasn't a lot of build up in his character or any type of character development.
Yeah.
At all. I kind of look like a Whoville character. Whoville, the Grinch. My Grinchy hair. Bojack should have been in like Supermax for, I thought it was 14 years. I was excited. I mean, not excited, but happy the first time I saw it. But it turns out he is not going to Supermax for 14 years. It's 14 months.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Which is like, really? Just for breaking and entering? Like, okay. And he has no remorse.
He just kind of like died in like the thing. Like, not every intro ends with him being in the pool. So I wish they kind of like tied it up. Like, I wish that was like the whole time, like, type of foreshadow. And then he dies. And I'd be like, that'd be like amazing, you know?
Alright, thank you for watching our video.
Wow.
And yeah, that's our opinions on Bojack Horseman the show, all the characters, and this is our final makeup look.
I know, it looks snazzy, I know.
Thank you. Like, subscribe, and see you soon.
See you. Bye-bye.